Hello everyone, welcome back. In this presentation, we will be looking into in detail the salient features of phylum Hemichordata and its classification. Hemichordates earlier, it was considered as a subphylum under phylum Chordata, but later, with the discovery of more number of hemichordates and its characters, studying on its characters, it has been placed as a separate phylum, as an independent non-chordate phylum. Okay. Hemichordates, they are exclusively marine, solitary or colonial, and you can see more or less it is a vermiform, worm-like body they have. Okay, they are enterocoelous, uh, deuterostomate animals, and the body and coelom both have three unequal divisions. Both the body as well as the coelom, it is divided into three unequal divisions. Okay, most of them they are burrowing and tube dwelling marine forms. Okay, so hemichordates they include actually exclusively marine forms. Usually, in most cases, they are burrowing and tube dwelling, and they are vermiform in nature, enterocoelous, deuterostomate animals. Okay, now we'll look into the other features. As already mentioned, the body is soft, they are vermiform, and bilaterally symmetrical almost, with three unequal divisions of the body. The body being divided into three unequal divisions. So this part, it is a proboscis. Here you have the collar and the trunk region elongated. Okay. At the same time, the enterocoelous coelom is also divided into three compartments. Okay, and hence it is known as a tripartite coelom. It is a unique feature of hemichordates. Tripartite coelom, in the sense, the coelom, it is divided into three cavities or compartments, namely the protocoel, mesocoel, and metacoel, based upon its position. And it corresponds to the body divisions, that is proboscis, collar, and trunk, respectively. Okay. Um, the notochord is absent, and like uh, no true skeletal structures are there, supporting skeletal structures are seen in the hemichordates. You can see the presence of buccal diverticulum in the proboscis. Apart from that, they also bear ciliated pharyngeal gill slits. Okay, so one to several pairs of permanent pharyngeal gill slits can be found in these organisms. Um, then we have is a open circulatory system. Okay, simple and open circulatory system, which consists of a pulsating center in the proboscis and a dorsal and ventral longitudinal blood channels in the rest of the body. The digestive system, the alimentary tract, it is complete. And the nerve cord, the nervous system, it is primitive in nature. It is dorsal in position and sometimes tubular. The nerve cord tubular. Okay. Fertilization, it is external with direct development with the Tornaria larva. Okay. Asexual reproduction is also found. The asexually reproducing forms, they have a high power of regeneration. Apart from that, there are organisms which even reproduce asexually by way of budding. Okay. Both sexual as well as asexual mode of reproduction is found in the hemichordates. So these are the general features of the hemichordata. Coming to the classification, so here you can see uh, this one represents the hemichordate and the chordata and the echinodermata. So you can see how its position is among the deuterostomate groups. Okay, so as you can see, the hemichordata, it arose from ancestor which had a buccal diverticulum. Okay, and almost we can see that there was a common ancestor very early in the developmental stage. In the evolutionary phase, there was a common ancestor for both echinoderm as well as the hemichordates, isn't it? So here you can see this one. And coming to the hemichordata, they had buccal diverticulum. Both the groups had buccal diverticulum in the proboscis. There are two classes under phylum Hemichordata, Pterobranchia and Enteropneusta. Pterobranchia, it is unique in having a crown of ciliated feeding tentacles, which are absent in the case of Enteropneusta. Okay, so we will be looking into these two classes in detail. Class Enteropneusta. Okay, so this classification into two classes, phylum Hemichordata, divided into two classes, Pterobranchia and Enteropneusta has been put forward by has been accepted by Ruppert and Barnes in 1994 and Cardung 2002. You can see here it is there are two classes. The Enteropneusta we can see here. The class Enteropneusta, the term comes from entero means intestine and pneusticos means for breathing. Okay, almost like pulmonary or lungs and all. Okay, and it is a small group of hemichordates which are popularly known as acorn worms. You can see over here acorn worms. So why the name acorn? Because of the nature of the proboscis. Proboscis, it is short and is a conical projection at the anterior end, just like an acorn. Okay, so that is why it is known as an acorn worm. Okay, now they are usually solitary and vermiform with numerous gill slits and in the pharyngeal region, and they have a straight digestive tract. You can see over here the proboscis, the collar and the trunk region with numerous gill pores, the pharyngeal gill slits on the pharyngeal region. Okay, so as already mentioned, most of the hemichordates, they are burrowing forms, isn't it? So most of the Enteropneusta, they occupy U-shaped burrows in sandy and muddy substrates between the limits of the high and the low tides. And proboscis, it is short, conical in nature, and there is a ring-like collar posterior to the proboscis, and an elongate trunk is the third division of the body. As already mentioned, there are plenty, like several pharyngeal gill pores or gill slits. Then fertilization is external and development is indirect with Tornaria larva. Typical two examples include the belanoglossus and saccoglossus. The belanoglossus, the structural details we'll be learning in detail in the next presentation. Coming to the next class, it is class Pterobranchia. Pteron means wing or feather, and branchia, it is the gills. So it is because of these gill structures, the name has come. Okay, the Pterobranchia, they are small, marine, sedentary or the sessile hemichordates, and they are commonly referred as sea angels. They are usually colonial, or we can say this is how it is. This is a cephalodiscus colony. You can see here the cephalodiscus colony, and this is one what you call organism. Here we have another one, so it is colonial, and you can see it is sedentary in nature. Okay, and this one, it is being enlarged over here. Okay, so what all are the features of Pterobranchia? As already mentioned, they are gregarious in nature. That is, they are usually found in groups or in colonial forms, living in you can see secreted encasements called synetia. Okay, it is known as a synetia, and their body is short with a stalk for attachment. You can see here the stalk, which is usually helps in attaching onto the space where they are usually found in the synetia. Okay, uh, they are found mostly in deep oceanic waters of the southern hemisphere, and most live in, as already mentioned, secreted tubes in asexually reproducing colonies. So these they are mainly taking up the asexual mode of reproduction by budding. Okay, even though sexual reproduction method is found, but they are more into the budding way of reproduction, and that is how the colonies are completely made. So body is divided into three regions. The proboscis, here you can see this region, the proboscis, then the collar on over here, and the trunk region, which is followed by a stalk. Okay, the proboscis, it is expanded and it is shield like. Here it is referred as a cephalic shield, and it secretes the tube, and it aids in the movement of the tube, in movement inside the tube. Okay, so it is very unique in the case of Pterobranchia. Now, what another feature is found associated with the collar. Collar, it possesses, you can see, it possesses 2 to 9 arms. These are the arms with numerous ciliated tentacles. Okay, and that is why it gets its name. Okay, so you can see the proboscis, the collar, it bears tentaculated arms. Okay, 2 to 9 tentaculated arms are found associated with the collar. Now, the trunk is U-shaped, and hence the digestive tract is also U-shaped. Okay, and mouth and anus lies close to each other in the body. Okay, and gill slits, it is absent, or if present, only one pair is found. And indirect development is found when it is sexually reproducing, usually involving a Tornaria larva. Otherwise, it is asexual reproduction is being taken up by way of budding, and that is the most common one. and that is how it develops the complete colony of the synetia. Okay, two examples mentioned here, that is rhabdopleura and cephalodiscus. This particular picture, it shows a cephalodiscus colony. Okay, so this is about the classification. So we saw the characteristic features of Hemichordata, the phylum Hemichordata, and also its classification, the phylum being classified into two classes, the Pterobranchia and the Enteropneusta. Okay, in the next presentation, we'll be seeing the detailed structure features of belanoglossus and the affinities of the particular group with other phyla and classes. Okay, thank you.